Greetings, everyone. Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Trenton, Ontario. Sun's out. I'm in a great mood. It's my second installment of What's Spinning in the Basement. So let's check out what I've been listening to this week and maybe talk a little bit about it and the motivation behind why I was listening. My daughter was over visiting on Friday night and mentioned Tears for Fears is coming to Toronto, and she hadn't heard the new Tears for Fears album yet. So I spun this. The Tipping Point. This is the album they put out last year. I think this is a really good album. This was a surprise album for me. I wasn't expecting Tears for Fears to put out such a solid album in 2022, and it's an album that's had staying power for me. I admit I don't listen to it often, but I pulled it out and really enjoyed giving it a listen. I think it's a fine album. So if you haven't heard this, well worth checking out. It's just full of great songs. I don't think there's a bad song on it. That is number one for me. Number two, Jack White. I'm I was a fan of Jack White's, became a bigger fan of Jack White's, and then last year I got to see him perform live in Toronto at the Budweiser stage, and just went, oh man, he's pretty freaking talented musician, and I love acoustic music, and this is Jack White acoustic recordings, 1998 to 2016. Absolutely love this. I'm plan on picking it up on vinyl as well, but the CD works for me, and it's got every White Stripes Jack White song on it you'd ever want to hear. Hotel Yorba and Love Interruption, all the songs that I love anyway. It's great, and just a great record from Jack White if you like acoustic music. That just fell out of its thing. There he is there. Talented man. The albums he put out last year are awesome, both of them. What else? Thrift stores. I see people, vinyl community members, come on and say, well, look what I found at a thrift store, and they're picking up like frickin' the Beatles, like Mono Sergeant Pepper or something. I never see anything there. Herb Alpert, Nana Muscuri, and maybe if I'm lucky, I might see Barbra Streisand's Greatest Hits Volume 2. But I was in a thrift store last week, and I found my first gem. Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. Do you believe this? In a thrift store. I think I paid like $3 for it or something like that. Fantastic. So I love this album. One of my favorite albums. I have it on an SACD, actually an SHM SACD. If you don't, that they're Japanese SACDs. Never really. It's an expensive SACD, but I was never really happy with the sound of it. But that's been my go-to version for a while because I don't have the vinyl or anything. And I've been looking for the vinyl, but I didn't want to put out $60, $70 for the thing. So I found this for like $3. It had some scratches on it, and splits on the cover, but I can live with that. So I thought, for that money, I got to bring it home and try and fix this baby up. And I took my squeaky clean record cleaning machine to it, and there are scratches on this thing. But for instance, on this side, I wish, I'm playing it, and the scratches don't seem to affect it. So it's playing really well. I'm quite surprised. And so until I find a better copy, this one's working pretty good for me. That's just a masterpiece of an album as far as I'm concerned. Next, the Beatles got some love this week. I was playing the Beatles number ones. This is, I think, the best Beatles comp. Anybody thinks it's the red and blue albums, whatever else. This is my favorite comp, and I really like, I don't know what the mixes are in this, but I like the sound of this album a lot. And double album, I won this in the channel Prog Hat, Edward. Great guy, great channel. Make sure you go to Edward's channel and give him some love and support his channel. But it came with like cool sleeves, and it came with a poster. Where the hell's my poster? I can't find my poster, and it came with those psychedelic Beatles things. I've got them on the wall over there, so I can't show you. But it's great packaging, and it's got all the Beatles number ones from "Love Me Do" right up to the Long and Winding Road, and fantastic. There's the set list. I'm sure everyone's aware of this album. I should rank these songs. That'd be a cool video. Okay, next. Yesterday, I was rocking on. I pulled out my rock hat yesterday and pulled out Zeppelin IV. It's a great frickin' record. I don't care what he says, overplayed, especially Stairway to Heaven. Like, people diss Stairway to Heaven because it's overplayed. It is absolutely one of the greatest rock songs ever recorded. It has everything you'd want, from great lyrics, great vocals, incredible lead guitar. The way it builds, the whole song is like, could be like, just if you looked up greatest rock song in the dictionary, Stairway to Heaven might be sitting there right beside it. But just a great album. Battle of Evermore. Oh man, this fantastic record. Lastly, I've been reading. Well, I finished reading Miles Davis autobiography. Now, I've read a biography on Miles before, but I've never read his autobiography. An interesting read, and it's a mother effer of a book. If you've never read that book, you might not get that little joke, but Miles's favorite word in the world is mother effer. He uses it to describe everything. This is a mother effer of a video. That guy's a mother effer of a player. This guy was a mother effer of a friend. This person was a mother effer of a whatever. The book should have been called Mother Effer. Anyway, I've always heard about, the possibility that if Jimi Hendrix lived, that Miles and Jimmy probably would have done something together. I did not realize their relationship was as deep as it was on a personal level. I thought this was just kind of saying, hey, they both knew of each other and probably would have gravitated to that. But they were actually talking about it, and there's Miles talks a lot about it in the video. Miles Davis' music took a right turn into jazz rock fusion funk when he was inspired by James Brown, Sly and the Family Stone, and Jimi Hendrix, and that's how we end up with Bitches Brew and albums like that. Anyway, Jimmy would go to Miles's house. There's one story Miles relates where he's out, I think, working in a club or something, and Jimmy's over at Miles's house waiting for him to get home, and Miles knew Jimmy was going to be there, and left some sheet music for him to go over some stuff he thought they could do together. And they get back, and Miles going, so what'd you think? And Jimmy's going, I don't know how to read music. And Miles, and then, just kind of the thing that Jimmy was such a natural musician that it didn't take long for him to catch on to what Miles was trying to show him. But, couldn't read a note. And, these jazz guys, they know their music inside out. So anyway, as a result, I was inspired to listen to Electric Ladyland, my favorite Jimi Hendrix album. This is a freaking amazing album. Talk about, double album, one of the greatest ever. And I was listening to Miles's Jack Johnson. I've been listening to a lot of Miles Davis because of reading the book, especially. And I love this freaking album. One of my favorite. I'm going to pick this up on vinyl at some point too. There's only 2 songs on this album. First one's called Right Off. It's 27 minutes long. The second one's called Yesternow, which is 26 minutes long. This has Miles on trumpet, Steve Grossman, soprano sax, Herbie Hancock on organ, John McLaughlin electric guitar, Michael Henderson electric bass, Billy Cobham on drums. I mean, great lineup of musicians. John McLaughlin just shines on this album. It starts off with a great guitar part, and it's really good. I think this is the closest Miles ever came to making a rock album. Um, One of my favorite Miles albums. So that's it for the week. For me, I will definitely be back through the week to talk about other stuff, our live chat Tuesday, and anything else that comes up. Um, please subscribe. Please press the like button and leave your comments. And I appreciate you very much. Thanks, everyone. Have a great Easter Sunday. Take care.